Hi, I'm Erik Voss, and one mystery to come out of Avengers Infinity War surrounded the Infinity Gauntlet. When was it created, and how does it connect to the MCU backstory? Where did it really come from? Who wanted it before Thanos? Why is Gauntlet? Now, a new theory has emerged that actually provides a really interesting explanation for this timeline of events. Basically, how Thor Ragnarok actually contained a whole deeper layer of meaning that we overlooked. So let's dive into it. Okay, according to this Reddit theory, Odin, Allfather to Thor and Loki, originally sought the Infinity Stones and the Infinity Gauntlet, embarking on this quest long before Thanos did. Odin's father, Bor, took the Reality Stone from the Dark Elves, a backstory that we learned about in Thor the Dark World. So the idea is that Bor taught his son Odin all about the Infinity Stones, and that when Odin rose to the throne, he began scouring the universe for them. At his side was his firstborn, Hela. We learned in Thor Ragnarok that before Thor was even born, Hela was Odin's weapon in the conquest that built Asgard's empire.
One by one, the realms became ours. But then, simply because my ambition outgrew his, he banished me.
This conquest could have actually been motivated by Odin and Hela's search for the Infinity Stones. We know that Odin possessed the Space Stone. This would have allowed him to transport his armies from place to place and conquer them pretty easily. And he used this might to rule over a vast empire that encompassed the 9 realms. One of these realms is, of course, Nidavellir, which, according to this theory, Odin originally commissioned them to forge an Infinity Gauntlet for him. But then his Infinity Stone journey led him to Vormir, where the Soul Stone required Odin to sacrifice someone he loved. In Thanos' case, of course, it was his daughter Gamora, so perhaps for Odin it would be his daughter Hela. Presumably Odin was unable to go through with it because, Hela's still alive. This could have led Hela to consider her father weak and turn against him, and she would go after the stones herself. But then, failing in her mutiny, Odin banished her to Hell and gave up his quest for the Infinity Stones. He then hid the Space Stone on Midgard, aka Earth, in that temple in Norway that we saw in the beginning of Captain America, the first Avenger. And then he had Nidavellir make a replica gauntlet for his vault as a reminder of his exploits and the pain of what he went through with Hela. Nidavellir could have then used this mold to make a new gauntlet when Thanos arrived. This idea of a replica could explain the vault scene in Ragnarok, which a lot of you were asking about.
Fake. Most of the stuff in here is fake. Weak. Smaller than I thought it would be. That's not bad.
Now, for some viewers, Hela's fake line was a little confusing, right? Because if, as we learn in Infinity War, the gauntlet was forged for Thanos only recently, how would Hela know of another gauntlet to compare this fake one to? But this theory answers that question. Hela would be well aware of what the Infinity Gauntlet is and what a fake one would look like. And this explains why she would be impressed by the Tesseract, which she knows as the Space Stone. It would also explain why Hela is so insulted to see Odin's fake treasure. Like the murals above that Hela had just torn down, these represent a revised history that her father told himself to hide from his dark past, one that erases her from the historical record. And if this theory is true, it also presents a possible look at Thanos' future. The final shot of him in Infinity War with him peacefully sitting and watching the sunrise, it reminded me a lot of Odin's death scene in Thor Ragnarok, calmly sitting on the Norwegian cliffside. Both Odin and Thanos are conquerors of the cosmos. They've used the Space Stone to jump from planet to planet and kill a lot of people. And in these moments of reflection for them, the number one thing that would probably be haunting them in this moment is their daughters. Perhaps one way Avengers 4 could go is to see Thanos reflect upon his conquest in a similar way. Was it all worth it? Could I have been a better father? I don't know, one way to bring him down could be for the Avengers to tap into that sense of regret that old warmongers have after the dust has settled. And speaking of dust, it is worth pointing out that Odin's death featured him fading into dust, not too differently from the way Thanos' victims did. I'm just saying there's clearly a parallel between these characters, and I predict that the final battle with Thanos will continue to map Thor and Nebula and the rest of the Avengers' relationship with the Mad Titan over the past relationship with the Allfather. This is all about daddy issues. How do a group of angry kids get back at their dad for grounding them and killing half of them? Perhaps, as Thor has done with Odin, they have to prove to daddy that they're worthy. Or, steal daddy's gauntlet and kill him. But a question for you guys. Do you see Thanos as more similar of a character to Odin or to Ultron? Remember, Ultron also wanted to save humanity through genocide. Actually, there is a theory out there that Ultron could still be alive, but stay tuned for that in a future video. Comment down below with your thoughts or tweet me directly at Erik Voss and follow New Rockstars on Twitter for updates on our videos. Like this video, share it around, subscribe to New Rockstars for all of our Infinity War deep dives and theories. And remember kids, if you see an Infinity Gauntlet lying around, Hela's right, it's probably fake. See?
Oh my god, I killed him! Oh no, 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 Devin!